Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us begin with the headlines. Union Cabinet to meet today. Dates for the winter session expected to be decided during the meet. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley targets rising incidents of intolerance, appeals for calm and restraint. Shiv Sena issues fresh threat, says won't allow Pakistani artists to set foot in Maharashtra. India and Russia chalk out plans to boost strategic ties. Both sides aim for bilateral trade of $30 billion in the next 10 years. Decision after Sushma Swaraj co-chairs Indo-Russia inter-government consultations with Russian counterpart. UN chief appeals for peace as Israel-Palestine violence escalates. Ban KiMoon says not too late to avoid a broader crisis. And the Sultan of Multan, Virendra Sehwag, finally makes it official, retires from all forms of cricket after a career spanning over a decade. Well, our top focus. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj held talks with her Russian counterpart Sergey Lavrov in Moscow. Sushma asserted that India's foreign policy towards Russia has never changed and it will remain a tried and tested real friend. Meanwhile, Russia assured cooperation on the declassification of Netaji files. She co-chaired the 21st session of the annual India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission meeting with her Russian counterpart.
और जहाँ तक हमारे द्विपक्षीय संबंधों का सवाल है, मैं एक बात ये कहना चाहूँगी कि हम जब भी विश्लेषण करते हैं तो एक चीज़ पाते हैं कि पूरे विश्व में अगर हमारा कोई जांचा परखा मित्र है, असली दोस्त है, वो रूस है.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj calling Russia a true friend, taking the Indo-Russian ties to a new level. She said this while co-chairing the 21st session of the annual India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission meeting with her Russian counterpart Sergey Lavrov. Sushma dismissed any signs of strain between relations of the two countries. The two leaders spoke about strengthening the ties further when the BRICS nations meet in India next year. Lavrov also referred to India's entry into Shanghai Cooperation Organization and said that its full membership will give boost to the efforts of the group in achieving its goals.
Сегодня мы хотели бы обсудить здесь, в Министерстве иностранных дел, наше внешнеполитическое взаимодействие, как в общем плане, с учетом традиционно совместных инициатив и действий на международной арене, так и в свете того, что к Индии переходит со следующего года председательство в БРИКС.
Russia has assured cooperation on declassification of Netaji files. Earlier, PM Modi had announced that files pertaining to Bose will be declassified on the birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose.
We just asked whether there is any information in Russia which could be shared with us. Foreign Minister said he would see whether there was any information available in Russia on this particular matter.
Well, this is excellent news. We were told by the Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji when we met him, this was on the 14th of this month, that he would take it up with the Russian authorities and he would not only write to them when he visits Moscow in the month of December this year, he would personally take up the issue with President Putin.
Sushma also took part in the industries ministers' meet of BRIC nations. Pitching for Make in India and Skill India campaigns, she laid out a roadmap for lowering corporate taxes and opportunities in India for trade and investment. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif arrived in Washington on a 4-day official visit to the United States in the wee hours of Wednesday. Scheduled to meet President Barack Obama at the White House on Thursday, Sharif was received at the Andrews Air Force Base by the Assistant Secretary of State Peter Selfridge. In addition to his meeting with Obama, Sharif is scheduled to meet Secretary of State John Kerry and other senior officials of the administration. The Pakistani PM is under pressure to take up the Kashmir issue with the American leaders. He would also be addressing a meeting of US-Pakistan Business Council and interact with the think tank community at the US Institute of Peace. Ahead of Nawaz Sharif's US visit, Pakistan had on Monday asked the US to play a role in resolving the core issue of Kashmir with India and ensure strategic stability in South Asia.
Pakistan will intensify its diplomatic efforts.
And back home, the Cabinet will be meeting today to decide on the dates of the winter session of Parliament. The 4-week-long monsoon session, remember, witnessed a lot of drama with repeated adjournments, suspension of Congress MPs from the Lok Sabha, many wearing black bands, and senior leaders protesting in the well of the House. No substantial debate or discussion took place except the one on controversy surrounding External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj's alleged links with the tainted cricket administrator Lalit Modi. Monsoon session was also the first time that the Narendra Modi government faced a turbulent task in bringing opposition on board to get key legislations passed. The Congress's demand for resignations of Sushma Swaraj, Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje on Lalit Modi Rao, and Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan on Vyapam scam resulted in pandemonium in Parliament, and ultimately Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan suspending 25 Congress MPs for 5 days, leading to more protests. Now, seeking to send a strong message to those indulging in vandalism, the centre has criticised such methods for expressing opposing views. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley urged for a more civilised way to protest than launching attacks. However, opposition has sought stricter action against those indulging in vandalism.
On Tuesday, the centre broke its silence over the recent debate on rising intolerance in the country. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley appealed for calm and restraint while urging people to engage in debate, not vandalism.
Past few days have seen an extremely disturbing trend where some people have been resorting to vandalism as an instrument of registering their protest or conveying their views.
His statement came a day after President Pranab Mukherjee appealed for maintaining pluralism in society. On behalf of the centre, Jaitley also came out strongly against those indulging in vandalism.
I have no difficulty if people convey contrarian views, because that's the essence of democracy and debate. But the debate will have to be conducted in a manner in which we are able to raise the level of debate rather than use vandalism as an instrument for registering our opinions or our protests.
Opposition parties, including the Congress, have sought strong action against those threatening the peace and harmony through such acts.
अगर प्रधानमंत्री, वित्त मंत्री और सरकार गंभीर है तो वो देश को आश्वस्त करने के लिए तमाम ऐसे व्यक्तियों के विरुद्ध जो उनके दल में हैं, चाहे संसदीय दल में हैं, कार्रवाई करें.
Something needs to be done by the government. The government has to act. They are not acting. By not acting, clearly they are patronizing these forces. So that is the basic point. Stop giving us sanctimonious speeches and stop preaching. Act.
Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had urged to shun violent means to protest after the row over the Dadri lynching incident. Jaitley's remarks came after BJP ally Shiv Sena forced cancellation of talks between Indo-Pak Cricket Board chiefs on Monday. The party had also praised those who smeared ink on former party leader Sudhindra Kulkarni for participating in the book launch event of former Pakistan Foreign Minister Khurshid Mahmood Kasuri last week. Vishal Dahiya's report for Rajya Sabha Television.
Meanwhile, the Shiv Sena has now threatened that it will not allow any Pakistani actor, cricketer or performer to step on Maharashtra soil. Now, this is the latest threat after the Sena's protest at the BCCI office, Kasuri book release function and also Ghulam Ali concerts. Now, in the last few weeks, Sena has hit national headlines with its protests against Pakistani ghazal singer Ghulam Ali's concerts in Pune and Mumbai, which were cancelled. Ink attack on former BJP ideologue Sudhindra Kulkarni and opposition to release of former Pakistan Foreign Minister Khurshid Kasuri's book, as well as protest at the BCCI office over the planned visit by Pakistan Cricket Board chief. Now, in response to the Sena's protests, the Maharashtra Chief Minister had said that he won't allow the state to be transformed into a banana republic. And the centre on Tuesday reviewed action taken by the state governments to check the price rise in pulses. Now, a meeting of secretaries was informed that in the last few months, 5 states took action on hoarders and seized over 5,800 tons. The matter also became fodder for the politics, with the 2 ministers accusing the Bihar government of contributing to the fall in production.
Unnerved by the galloping price hike, the centre on Tuesday reviewed the supply situation of pulses. At a meeting of secretaries of various ministries, the cabinet secretary took stock of the production, procurement and availability.
Government is concerned about price rise of pulses. It has taken several measures to control the prices of pulses. It has banned export of pulses. There is zero import duty on import of pulses. So continuously we are making efforts to increase the availability of pulses even through imports.
Union Agriculture Minister Radha Mohan Singh kicked up a controversy on the issue. He claimed pole-bound Bihar was contributing to the declining production, which he said had fallen from 5.43 lakh tons in 2012-13 to 4.2 lakh tons in 2014-15, a charge that his party leaders took up.
बिहार के अंदर जो टाल का इलाका है, वहाँ दाल की बड़े पैमाने पर उत्पादन होता है, पैदावार होती है। पिछले 2 वर्षों में दाल का उत्पादन क्यों घट गया? इसका जवाब बिहार की सरकार को देना चाहिए।
Union Minister Ramvilas Paswan accused the Bihar government of neither fixing the stock limit nor taking action against hoarders. JDU leaders, however, rejected the allegations.
दिल्ली में इनके सारे ऑफिसेज हैं। दिल्ली में इतना दाम क्यों बढ़ गया? और दिल्ली में दाम जितना बढ़ गया और प्रदेशों में, तो उसका तो जवाब देना चाहिए, तब बिहार की बात करना चाहिए।
Meanwhile, the Congress staged a protest over the climbing prices of pulses in Mumbai.
देश में 50 लाख टन दाल की किल्लत है। 5,000 टन दाल मंगा के ये जताने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है कि हम दाल की कीमतों को कंट्रोल करेंगे। हमें लगता है सरकार ने साल भर में जानबूझकर जमाखोरों को मौका दिया।
The government is expected to import an additional 2,000 tons of arhar and 1,000 tons of urad dal. In Delhi, 400 outlets of Safal and 100 outlets of Kendriya Bhandar are selling tur dal at 120 rupee per kilogram. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now let's take a look at what all events are lined up for the day in day ahead. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh will inaugurate the Indian Police Foundation and the Indian Police Institute at New Delhi on Wednesday. He will be accompanied by Minister of State for Home Kiran Rijiju. The Indian Police Foundation and the Indian Police Institute aimed at embarking a culture of research and evidence-based policing in India and to avoid subjectivity, personal biases and errors in decision-making. The setting up of the institutes is in line with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of a smart, professionally competent and people-centric police. A day after he was arrested, Patidar Anmat Andolan Samiti convener Hardik Patel moved a petition before the Gujarat High Court on Tuesday seeking quashing of sedition case lodged against him by the Surat police. Now, Hardik has been sent to police remand till 23rd of October. The petition is likely to be heard today. Hardik's father, Bharat Patel, moved the petition through his advocate, B.M. Mangukia, who stated that no offence could be attributed to the Patel leader. A Pakistani anti-terrorism court in Islamabad will resume the trial of 7 accused in the Mumbai terror attack case today. Mumbai attack mastermind Zakir Rahman Lakwi and 6 other accused are facing trial for planning and executing the attack on 26th of November 2008 that left 166 people dead. Lebanese members of parliament will again vote today to elect its new president. The members failed on 30th of September to elect a president. It was for the 29th consecutive session that parliament had postponed the election of a head of state since May last year. Lebanon's presidency, the Middle East's only Christian one, has been vacant because members of parliament cannot agree on a candidate. And former Delhi High Court Judge Justice Reva Khetrapal will be the capital's new Lokayukta. Now, Justice Khetrapal was chosen unanimously by a 4-member panel, which included Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung and Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who have locked horns on many occasions over official appointments. Now, Chief Justice of India, High Court G. Drohini and the leader of opposition leader in Delhi Assembly, Vijendra Gupta, were the other 2 members of the panel. Mr. Jung will recommend her name to President Pranab Mukherjee today for appointing her as Delhi's Lokayukta. The 63-year-old judge's name was recommended to the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court by AAP government in July as well as earlier this month. The post of the Lokayukta has been vacant since November 2013. BJP and Congress had been cornering the AAP government over the vacant post of Lokayukta and also accused it of delaying to fill up the same.
मीटिंग में चीफ जस्टिस दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट मिसेस जी रोहिणी, चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ दिल्ली श्री अरविंद केजरीवाल और लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर ऑफ दिल्ली श्री नजीब जंग साहब और मैं स्वयं, हम चारों लोग थे और यूनानिमसली सब लोगों ने एक मत से जस्टिस रेवा क्षेत्रपाल को नॉमिनेट किया है दिल्ली के लोकायुक्त के लिए। तो अब नई लोकायुक्त जो होंगी दिल्ली की, वो जस्टिस रेवा क्षेत्रपाल होंगी।
And in breakfast news, we'll take a very short break. On the other side, we'll get you all the international news as well as sports news. Don't go anywhere.
Who should be in power is left to be determined by the people.
I want all minorities to have an honorable place in the Union of India.
Declaration was that zamindari would be abolished, for which fair compensation would be paid.
There is no dispute whatsoever that the executive should be separated from the judiciary.
The protagonists of Hindi, in their enthusiasm, have gone too far.
Greatest danger in the future may not be that the center will interfere too much, but that the units may resent the guidance of the center.
The future constitution of India would be a pyramidal structure based on the village panchayats.
I move that the constitution be passed.
Welcome back. Now, UN Chief Ban KiMoon has called for fast action to halt the escalating violence between Israelis and Palestinians. Now, Ban KiMoon also said that it was not too late to avoid a broader crisis. The UN chief spoke soon after police said that a Palestinian drove his car into a group of Israelis in the West Bank, injuring a soldier and a civilian. Now, 8 Israelis and more than 40 Palestinians, including attackers, have been killed in recent weeks. The upsurge in violence began last month when tensions at the Flashpoint holy site in Jerusalem, revered by Jews and Muslims, boiled over amid rumors that Israel planned to relax long-standing rules to strengthen the Jewish rights at the complex. Now, Israel has denied such claims. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has said that Palestinians were increasingly frustrated with the failure of peace talks to achieve statehood.
Let me be clear. Violence will only undermine the legitimate Palestinian aspirations for statehood and the longing of Israelis for security.
أجرينا مع فخامة الرئيسة محادثات طيبة واطلعت فخامتها والوفد المرافق على مجمل تطورات الأوضاع في فلسطين.
And in the other big international story, Russia and the US finally struck a deal to avoid air incidents in Syria. Well, the deal comes weeks after the West expressed caution over Russian airstrikes in Syria in support of President Assad. The US has said that planes of both countries entered the same battle space and came within miles of each other several times, which could have led to mishaps. However, the agreement does not coordinate airstrikes, targets or intelligence. It simply aims to prevent the aircrafts from getting too close to one another. Well, the agreement only covers flights over Syria and does not address Turkish concerns over Russian infringements of its airspace. Earlier, the US had expressed concerns after the Russian jets intercepted Turkish airspace in Russia twice. The Pentagon spokesperson said that the text of the deal would remain secret at Moscow's request. Well, now on to Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to the United Kingdom. While addressing both houses of British Parliament, Xi said that the visit will lift UK-China relations to a new height. He also said that both countries were becoming more interdependent and a community of shared interests. Later in the day, he was given a grand welcome at the Buckingham Palace as the Queen hosted a royal banquet to honor the Chinese president. The Queen hailed Xi Jinping's milestone visit and declared that the Anglo-Chinese ties will be taken to ambitious new heights. Xi Jinping will also hold talks with UK's top leadership to strengthen economic ties, including Chinese investment in the UK. Xi's visit comes amid job losses in the UK steel sector. Now, cheap Chinese imports has been blamed as one of the reasons behind the job losses.
The relationship between the United Kingdom and China is now truly a global partnership. We have much reason to celebrate the dynamic, growing economic relationship between our countries, as well as our success in working together to address pressing international challenges.
两国关系创下了多项第一。英国是第一个承认新中国的西方大国，也是率先同中国建立全面战略伙伴关系的欧盟国家，是除香港外最大的人民币境外交易中心。
And now let's get you some more international news and updates in World Wrap. Former UN General Assembly President John Ash and 4 others were indicted in an alleged bribery scheme on Tuesday. The indictment also names Macau-based billionaire real estate developer and a Dominican Republic diplomat. Ash, who was a General Assembly President from 2013 to 2014, was indicted 2 weeks after his arrest. Slovenia would ask the European Union to send additional police forces to the country to help it deal with thousands of migrants streaming into the country on the way to Austria. More than 19,000 migrants have entered Slovenia since Friday, creating bottlenecks as migrants attempted to find new routes through the region. Now, thousands of migrants were held up at the border on Tuesday. Hundreds of South and North Korean families torn apart by the Korean War reunited in a rare reunion event on Tuesday. The reunion, comprising a series of meetings over a week, is being held at the Mount Kumgang Resort in North Korea. Reunions have been held sporadically since 1988 and depend on the state of relations between the two countries. The last reunion was held in February 2014. The Mexican authorities have reopened the investigation into the last year's disappearance of 43 students. The government has agreed to work in cooperation with a group of independent experts to allow them to continue their investigation. Now, relatives of the students have disputed the government's account that said that the police handed the students over to a drugs cartel who killed them and incinerated the bodies. Well, on to sports now, and Virendra Sehwag has announced his retirement from international cricket and the IPL on his 37th birthday on Tuesday. Now, this brings the curtains down on a career spanning 12 years in which he scored over 17,000 international runs across all the formats. Sehwag is the only Indian batsman to score a triple century in Tests as well as a double century in ODIs.
Oh, it doesn't look good though. A miss hit is a long way off the cards at this stage.
Well, this would appear to be Sehwag's day. What a good shot.
Virendra Sehwag announced his retirement from international cricket and the Indian Premier League, bringing to end an illustrious career spanning over a decade. Sehwag made the announcement on his 37th birthday via Twitter with a crisp message that said he would no longer play the IPL either. Considered one of the most destructive batsmen in world cricket, Sehwag scored over 8,000 runs in 104 tests with an impressive average of close to 50. He is the only triple centurion in tests for India, having scored a career-best knock of 319 against Pakistan in Multan. In 251 ODIs, he scored 8,273 runs at an average of 35.05. In 19 T20 internationals, he managed 394 runs with 2 half-centuries. He has been a part of 2 World Cup winning teams under Mahendra Singh Dhoni's leadership. First in 2007 World T20 in South Africa and then the 2011 World Cup in India. While announcing his retirement, Sehwag heaped praise on his teammates, especially former captain Sourav Ganguly. He claimed without Saurav's backing, he would never have played Test cricket.
And I'm pretty happy with my career, and thanks to all the fans and the supporters and the BCCI, my coaches, there are so many coaches, and my friends, my colleagues, senior players like Sachin, Rahul, Kumble, Srinath, Saurav, VVS Lakshman, Harbhajan Singh, Zaid Khan, Ashish Nehra, Gautam Gambhir, Yuvraj Singh. There are so many names. MS Dhoni, I played with them. So thank you very much for support and for your love.
Sehwag's decision comes barely a few days after one of his contemporaries, Zaheer Khan, decided to call time on his career. Sehwag had not been in the Indian team since 2013 due to poor form and injuries. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, Sehwag there bidding an adieu to the international cricket. And a look at other stories making news in the world of sports and sports beat. Indian cricketer Amit Mishra has been booked by the Bengaluru police for alleged sexual assault of a woman in his hotel room last month. He was also summoned by the police to appear in a week's time for questioning. He will face a strict action if he fails to do so. Mishra is a part of the Indian squad for the first 2 tests against South Africa. India's S. Ravi will replace Ali Madar as the umpire for the 4th cricket one-day between India and South Africa in Chennai after the Pakistani official had to be withdrawn from the series owing to security concerns. As per the ICC norms, 1 neutral umpire is a must in any bilateral series, but citing exceptional circumstances, both the BCCI and Cricket South Africa have agreed that 2 Indian umpires will stand in the game. Arsenal revived their Champions League's hopes with a crucial 2-0 victory over Bayern Munich. The Gunners' hopes of reaching the knockout phase were in serious jeopardy after they lost their opening 2 games. But 2 goals in the last 12 minutes from Oliver Giroud and Mesut Ozil gave Arsenal the much-needed 3 points. World Football's governing body FIFA has confirmed that it will hold the election for its next president at a special congress on 26th of February. The election will determine the successor to Sepp Blatter, who has been the president since 1998. Blatter and Michael Platini have been both suspended for 90 days amid corruption allegations, which both men deny. That's all in this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks so much for your time. Have a great day ahead.